saying that I'm hallucinating, that I'm not the Joker from GTA 6. Judge your goddamn nuggets. That's me. That's the person that got the inspiration from. See that? That's me. That's me. That's me. GTA, we gotta talk, GTA. We gotta talk. Or not, you gotta give me like a meal or two. So what's up? Holla at me, GTA, Rockstar Entertainment, Rockstar Games, Rockstar Enterprise. Florida Joke ain't having that.
Dude, lots to talk about on the Grand Theft Auto radar. We got bleeps all over the map. So much to go over, man. I don't even know where to begin. But the funniest thing so far that I've spotted is, did you see the guy in the trailer, man, that they arrest in the news is in Spanish at the bottom, and it's a guy that's all tattooed all over his face.
Weasel News or whatever it's called. Weasel News is out there.
Is that what it said? I just remember it was in Spanish. Let me bring that up real quick.
It's almost like it kind of looks like a parody of Fox News, but it's called Weasel News. You see what?
No, dude, it's a parody of a Mexican news station, and I'm thinking it might be like Telemundo or like
Sky
there's one
News
of them.
Yeah, there's another one.
That's the one I'm
okay,
specifically talking about. The one in Spanish where they have the guy arrested that's got tattoos all over his face.
I do remember that. Yeah, that's a separate thing, and that's not Weasel News. You're exactly right, and it is like a thing on Univision or something, like a parody of it.
Here it is. Listen to this.
It's your boy, Joker Gang 305, Ron Sequel Live. Florida Joker, man, Joker.
Florida Joker.
That character on GTA 6. Just dropped the trailer today. You know they got that character with the face tattoos. You know who they got that.
This isn't the one. Hold on.
Oh
this
yeah, that dude had it said like something killers, like the guy in real life. It says like something killers on his forehead.
He's called Florida Joker.
Oh my god,
the Florida Joker.
Dude,
well, hold on. There's a specific video I saw.
I've got zero smoke with that dude in real life.
Oh yeah, no,
That'd be
like
crazy.
like
that dude looks.
I'm not opining in any way, shape, or form here. Like I just had to bring it up because fuck, man, where is it though? Did I see it on the old Facebook? There's a specific video I want to play. Oh, here it is. I think this is it.
Saying that I'm hallucinating, that I'm not the Joker from GTA 6. Judge your goddamn nuggets. That's me. That's the person that got the inspiration from. See that? That's me. That's me. That's me. GTA, we gotta talk, GTA. We gotta talk. Or not, you gotta give me like a meal or two. So what's up? Holla at me, GTA, Rockstar Entertainment, Rockstar Games, Rockstar Enterprise. Florida Joke ain't having that. Y'all took my likeness. Y'all took my life. Everybody's saying.
Anyways, that's it.
Oh shit.
It. Could you hear that all right?
Absolutely. It sounded really
cool.
good.
I hope that didn't come in too loud or too, no. This is a professional setup over here, that's how we do it. We hold the iPhone up to the microphone.
No, it sounded remarkably clear and
Awesome.
not too crazy. But, dude, that's been the vibe all along. I've been seeing all sorts of videos on social media where people are like they've nailed it. Like as far as like current Miami, like the hairstyles and the just the whole...
The real life references, right?
Yeah, the whole vibe is just freaking right on point, like it is right now.
Dude, that's note 3 on my pad here. So let's skip note 1 and note 2 and go right into note 3. Real life references. Dude, this... I saw it and it cracked me up, dude, because it's like, it's me. It's me. It's me. It's me. I need a meal or two, Grand Theft Auto. Dude,
well,
and I think it is, man. I think they were parodying this guy.
Well, there's the South, and then there's the dirty South, and like there ain't nothing like Central Florida for just some of the just mix of kind of redneck and also like international influences and like ports, coming in there. Like you got it all, dude. And I think like down there in Miami is just where it's really, blossoming. Tons
It's
of
like
money.
the perfect storm where everything just kind of coalesces and comes together to create this like unique place.
Yeah, dude. Because it's sticking out there on the end of the peninsula. So think of it like between Cabo San Lucas and San Jose del Cabo or something, like, that's the spot.
Yeah.
Like that's the first place. Like after you've been on that long sea voyage, you see shore, and it's like, welcome to Miami.
Or in this case, Vice City,
Dude.
La Ciudad del Vicio.
Okay, man. When I was probably, I don't know, like in my mid 30s or something, I went to West Palm Beach for Christmas. I had a friend. He was
So you've been to this neck of the woods.
absolutely, dude. My buddy.
You can speak from
my
experience.
buddy, my fellow gamer, rest in peace. They call me Curly. He was from West Palm Beach, and we worked together. So me and my girl, we went and we rented a house down in West Palm Beach and went down there for Christmas. And like I said, he had grown up there, so he took us to Miami one night, and we went and checked out like all the spots. And like the things I remember are like street performers were just off the chain. Like there were people like pretending to be statues and like
like mimes and stuff like that,
dude,
or
like just off the chain ones though. Like guys painted up like Statue of Liberty and like standing.
were they ripped too? They were probably ripped guys.
Yeah, and like they had like $1 like taped on the ground, and like they were kind of taking in busking sort of like for money and stuff, but really entertaining. And I remember having like the best mojito I'd ever had in my life. And we went like, I don't know if you remember this news story where that Versace cat got shot on Ocean Boulevard. It is like he had a mansion that was like prime like spot on the beach there, dude. And yeah, he got like he
Living in luxury.
His lover shot him on those steps, like in probably
Whoa,
the late
dude.
80s, early 90s or so. Like you've heard of the brand Versace or whatever. Like
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
forget his
They got
first
that
name. It's
down
like
here.
Giovanni or something is his first name, and
Old Gio.
his lover shot him on the steps of his mansion.
Is that
there.
how he died?
Absolutely, yeah, died right
Oh,
there.
dude.
So
The Versace dude.
somewhere in a box over here or something. I've got a picture of me, like on those steps or whatever.
Oh my god. We're talking about the Versace dude.
I would say like he probably had a father that was like the OG Versace dude, and he was like the son that was also making lots of cool moves with the brand and things. Is the way
yeah.
I remember it.
Yeah, I
But
had no idea,
He was
man.
fairly
Yeah.
young when he went. But
Damn.
yeah, that was. I remember going to like a hookah bar for the first time in my life, and my buddy Anthony was straight edge, so like he didn't like he was
He didn't fuck with anything.
a teetotaler, man, and yeah, so I sort of respected that, and just kind of like saw the sights and everything. But he was also like he was like a lead singer in a punk band, so he definitely fit in there too,
Yeah.
or whatever, had tats and all that. But
Damn,
yeah,
man.
just good memories, man. It's like you feel that vibe like you do in just any large city that I imagine Mexico City or just any it's just
No, I
it's-
don't know. I think Miami is probably a thing of its own.
Well-
I mean, that's what I've heard. I've heard that Florida's a thing of its own.
And I will say, like, there's a huge Latin influence there. It's almost like I feel like there's no way I can speak to that as well as you could, but like, there's something about like when I first saw this was going to be like a Vice City game, I thought, man, this is going to be popular in Latin countries because of that, like, because yeah, I've just known.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the people I've known, like maybe that went through the Job Corps program and ended up being firefighters or whatever. They came into this country through Miami or whatever, like Colombians and
Like a lot of probably a lot of like Central and South America countries,
Yeah,
especially those
yeah.
island countries, right?
My buddy Flacco like had a like there in
Like,
in
what
Miami.
would it
He had
be?
a job like unloading flowers like that came from like Latin countries or something. They had like this big flower warehouse that he worked at. But yeah, it seems like a really this big melting pot of place. With the extra boost of Latin America.
Well, then you gotta dribble drabble some knowledge on us since you've been down there and you're also a Southern person, right?
Yeah.
Is that fair to
Yeah,
say?
I love Florida, man. I used to get sent to Florida every year for wildfires and prescribed burning, like Lake City and Lakeland, Florida, and like it's Jacksonville.
All right. Well, that's fucking perfect. That's just what we need for this episode, because we're breaking the trailer down a little bit more than we did in the last episode. We kind of just like hyped it up a little bit and, bullshitted about it for a second. By the way, welcome gamers, non-gamers, PvEers, PvPers, and even NPCs. This is the New Wave Gaming Podcast with your two hosts.
Chuck
Introduce
Tomahawk.
yourself. The Chuck Tomahawk, a legend in the world of Ark, and definitely making a name for himself in the war zone.
That's right.
I'm not even joking. I'm not laughing. Yeah. This is my serious face. And I'm here as well, Ovox. You can call me Ovox. And we're really stoked to have you here, and we hope you enjoy this pod. We'll get right back to it because there's a lot to cover here. So we're kind of like real life references. This is perfect, man, because you can help again with your wisdom of being down there. One thing I loved about the trailer and that it caught my attention was like there's like a social media type of dynamic to the game. I'm sure there may or may not be confirmed information on the whole social media dynamic, but I think what everyone's kind of wondering, and this may have been confirmed already, I don't know, is like, is there going to be like a way for us to like use that in some form or fashion, or is it just going to be like, are they just going to be cutscenes that keep the story going in the campaign mode or in the online variant?
Oh,
are they going to use it as like a story pushing thing? It certainly confirms that the Vice City game GTA 6 is its timeline is based around a contemporary Miami or a contemporary Vice City. It's based in like today's time.
Roger
that's for
that.
sure.
Yeah,
that's going to be
And
so it's cool to revisit Vice City in that way. But is the social that's the question here. Is the social media, whatever it is they're showing on there, it seems like some sort of Twitter or Instagram or X. Are we going to be able to like use that? And, well, are we going to be able to use it? And I think you were going to say something. I don't want to steal your wind. So it might be exactly what I was thinking. But, Chuck, what were you going to...
I feel like 100%.
I'm not farting, by the way. That's my chair.
One of the things, like, I feel like in the survival games that we've been playing, there's an innocence in that, like even in PvP, like we're kind of like protecting ourselves to some degree or whatever, but don't forget, dude, this is an open world crime simulation. So I feel like it should show up. If I was going to put it in the game, I'd put it up like it probably is used in crime. And usually like the stories you hear about social media and crime are like people making the mistake of putting crimes on social media. Like, when like they've robbed a bank or whatever, they've like showing up with a bunch of money and shit like that, and like even in the old classic mob movies, that was always it. Like, when they rob the bank and the guys start spending the money too soon, like they have to knock those guys off so they don't end up telling or whatever. So I don't know that that's how it'll be used, but from those things,
how would it be used like that though? You lost me a little bit.
In the current GTA 5,
like for clout?
You have a cell phone. Like it's a big part of the game. Like you hit up on the D-pad or whatever to bring up your cell phone, and like you've got a message from Lamar, and like it's like you got a message from the mechanic, and your car's over here or whatever. Like, so they're just gonna.
But those are like the DMs though, and that makes sense. Like if you want to propagate crime, you say like, hey, Chuck, this is the deal. This is the mission. This is what you're going to get paid. Delete this message. But no, we're talking like this is like social media, like people like filming in game, like like the NPCs. Are they gonna have phones? Or when we're walking down the street, is an NPC gonna like see us, like you, the player, committing a crime and like pull their phone out? Imagine that the NPC pulls its phone out, starts like, and then sorry, I bumped the mic. And then the next thing you know, you see it on like it comes up on the radio, or you see it on you pull up your own cell phone, and now there's a social media app that you can pull up, and it'll like there'll be a picture of the same lady, the NPC that recorded you. Like
that's how it's gonna be.
Saw this crazy motherfucker going down the street, running people down.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be like that. I feel like it's gonna be in some missions, and it'll kind of be it'll be like on a rail, sort of how it gets gets used or whatever, and they'll probably, maybe like the more you have clout on social media, the more that people you walk by will recognize you or something. Like would be a cool.
Oh yeah,
Well,
like there's like some sort of a clout.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like influencer type.
Yeah,
of...
and it might cause your wanted level to go up a little bit because the police are kind of, they got their own social media things. But like what we've seen so far is like, I think one of the first quotes is of like, you see that chick on top of that car twerking or whatever, and the dude is on social media.
How is not everyone's talking about
the
that?
Dude's on social media saying, it's time to call we need to call the Department of Transportation on this dump truck, and like
dump city, man. She's just like shaking that shit.
Yeah, so you can see it's a
dude.
part of the game for sure.
Dude, Grand Theft, dude, I'm gonna be completely honest, but Grand Theft Auto fucking trailers always do something to me, man. Like, they always show, like, there's always like a hot chick scene, and it always makes me a little fucking nipply, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude.
Then they're like playing girls twerking and shit, and then that other one, like, in the car. It's like, God damn, dude.
I have to admit,
I need to get out a little more.
I know I hammered it on the last episode, so I won't go too crazy with it. But the song, like, there's so much meaning to that song. Like love is a long road. Like, think about it. It's been 10 years since the last game or whatever, and like, we love this game, but it's a long freaking road. A long history that we have with GTA.
You're hitting like different upper level philosophy right here, man.
Dude,
You're going deep.
The song, they nailed the song, man. Did you notice, like at the end when
they nailed the song.
What's the girl's name? The girl's Lucy.
Lucia, I think.
When they
and her boy Jason.
When they bust in that convenience store at the end, like if you look on the glass on that door, it says Tom Petty. Like there's a Tom Petty.
Oh
sticker.
Petty Love, or Love Petty or something like that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. It's Petty time. I saw that, man. And the fact that you told me this on the last episode, that he's from Florida.
He is.
He's a Florida native. Well,
he is.
And
Florida,
for the record, in the game, it's called Leonida. Not Florida. It's Leonida. And I think that has something to do with like the person that discovered Florida. His last name was Leon or something like that.
Ponce de Leon.
Oh, fuck, dude. Damn.
Yeah. He supposedly discovered the Fountain of Youth down there or something, I think. Yeah.
Fountain of fucking...
That's part of the dirty South history they teach you in school here. But, yeah.
Well, I don't want to get too far off track. Let's keep this relatively organized, this podcast. This is the best gaming podcast in the universe. It's been confirmed by us.
So I'm going to say,
real
life
you're
going to have a cell phone.
Social media.
You're going to have that cell phone. Like, just to wrap that topic up or whatever, you're going to have that cell phone again, I think, and it's going to be better. It's going to be more, and you're going to have social media apps, and there'll probably be like a clout meter, like we're talking about, influence meter, and it'll help you.
Or like followers. How many, like you're going to have followers?
It'll help you do things, and it'll be a part of it. And also, I think as part of some of the missions, there's going to be some funny shit like we saw. Like just the dump truck comment, and there were a few other like social media type posts. I didn't realize it at first till I watched like some review videos of the thing. When I was watching it the first time myself, I was just paying attention to the thing. But if you look, like a lot of those things are social media posts, and one of them is like a go live kind of situation. Like you can see like there's comments coming up live in the bottom corner of something that's going down, and it's almost like at one point there's a video, a rap video that's being filmed, and there's a guy with a shoulder camera and stuff, and those people that are filming are like live streaming that.
Yeah. Do you okay? Here's the question, and I'm sure we're not the only ones that have like been thinking about this. Is there going to be a way to link your GTA 6 social media into the real world,
the real X or whatever?
Like, is it? You know what I mean? Like, are they thinking of a way like where, and I'm not saying, take a screenshot while you're playing it on the PS5 and share your PS5 screenshot. I'm talking about like connecting the GTA 6 world social media with real world social media. Like that would be interesting, like if you could, or like like maybe on GTA 6 online, when you create your own character, because when you play online, at least on GTA 5, you have to create your own, dude or dudette.
Yeah.
And then can that person within the GTA 6 online world gain a following? That would be insane. That would be sick, dude. Well, I don't know. That'd probably be very unhealthy as it is.
It would be
But
smart
actually,
of them to try to do that, and like to cross those two worlds together. I think would be really, really smart.
Insane.
And they have the ability to do that, dude. Like they can.
Rockstar can do anything they want.
Yeah, dude. There's a ton of hype. I wonder. Like I know like what social media they've got. I've seen like on TikTok and things, like it's like 1 billion views or something now on that thing.
Oh, we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
But real life references, man. So we've kind of touched on the social media thing. That'll be interesting to see how that develops. We got the Florida Joker.
Yeah.
It's me. Play that man a mill or two.
Well,
I think he's already got a social media following though, that guy. So he's fine. But dude, there's also a lot more real life references in this game.
well, and it's almost become a thing, like where like Florida Man is a man in and of himself. You know what I mean? Like any story,
it's a legend, a myth,
it's like,
a god.
Yeah. You know, it's almost like saying, "Well, there I was," you know, or whatever. It's like Florida Man. Like
I think there's
like you've got a story.
Dude, I think there's something about like if you go on Google and type in Florida Man and then your date of birth, no matter what, some sort of news article will come up about a Florida man that did something insane on the day you were on the date of your birth.
Yeah, and if you're a really special person, it'll be something like someone's face got ate off by another man or so. Like, there's just a lot of weird shit that happens down there, and a variety.
Should I test it real quick?
It might be interesting. It might be very interesting.
Let's see here. I'm gonna go to Google. Let's see. Okay, mine's in Mexico though, so let's see if this works. Here we go. What the fuck, dude? Oh wow. Yeah. Drunken Florida man arrested after shoveling spaghetti into his mouth, yelling outside of an Olive Garden. Here's another. Same year, Florida man threatens to destroy everyone with an army of turtles, police say. Wow, dude. Chuck. Never mind. I don't want to ask you what your birthday is, but oh wait, I think I know. Hold on. I mean, if I didn't,
So, you just
right?
proved it. You
Like-
just off the, without a doubt proved it. And that the fact that it's been going on for a few decades at this point.
Oh my gosh, dude, your birthday's worst. Dude. Your birthday's worst. Florida man offered to pay an officer with hamburger for oral sex.
Dude, there's so many factors that I think Florida was the first place to have pain clinics. So used to be like anybody that got arrested in my hometown or any town in Tennessee or Kentucky, they would have drugs on them, and it would be from a Florida pharmacy, prescription pills. And there's also the fact
rough.
that if you're gonna be homeless, it's the place to be homeless. Like there's no like shitty winter you got to survive, with a box or some shit under a bridge. I mean,
it's probably. I mean, both. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, like I said, like all kinds of money and crime on top of it. Like my buddy Anthony talked about like when I went to West Palm Beach there, just insane, same places you're at the mall or whatever, like you might see some video online of people with, AKs and shit like that, committing gang violence.
Okay, and dude, that lady with the two hammers?
I feel like she's
In the
like the
parish or
shout out
something?
to the Karens, like there's a specific lady that like she's dressed kind of
Dude,
different and has dark hair, where that lady has kind of light colored hair, but it's like that lady. You know, I mean,
It's that lady.
Yeah.
That's a real life reference. That's a parody of. I mean, I'm sure that lady's also like, hey, you guys use me as a, fucking reference, and you're like,
Yeah.
What does the lady say? So look who's back. She's got 2 hammers in her hand. And in the real life video, the lady's like banging on this car, and then she's like, "Get the fuck out of this neighborhood," or whatever. Go ahead, call the police.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like, fuck, dude.
Dude, and like you've got all these people from up north that have retired and moved there. I mean, it is like just like this perfect melting pot of craziness. Like so many stereotypes of it. Like
the guy in the thong watering his lawn,
and he's just
That's
like
so
soaked
funny.
the shit out of it. Like, and there's
It's so
alligators.
funny.
Like,
yeah. I guess there's like a parody of PETA. They call it poach in the game.
oh yeah.
And you can see the guy saying, "Watch out! Don't forget to net your pools or something, or alligators will get." And he's pulling a fucking alligator out of the pool. And then there's those people in that event where they're doing a bunch of mudding.
Oh God, and it's something hillbilly is in the
And
name.
it said,
It's like,
it says Thrillbillies.
Thrillbillies.
What do you have to say about that, Chuck?
mudding.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah, dude.
Are you Thrillbilly?
I will say, man, I'm the people that live in Central Florida, like they're every bit as redneck as anyone that ever come out of any holler on a mountain like you'd ever believe. They are some resilient people. I mean, it's like inevitably like a dude named Gator, like that's his name, like literally, like his official fucking
Gator.
name, I mean, it's like,
Hey, my name's Gator. Well, what's your friend's name? That's Croc. Like, oh, damn.
Dude, this is no bull. Like when at some point I was working for the Forest Service, and we kind of like were holding this fire line with another hotshot crew, and the guy on I was on the end of our crew, and the very next guy on with the second crew was a guy from Florida named Gator. And like I had to sit there and talk to him like a really long time, and he started telling me a story about his grandfather used to whip him with a bullwhip whenever he didn't like mind or whatever. And he was telling me like how like his grandfather like it hurt him more than it did him. Like
That's some old timey shit right there.
yeah, dude. I mean, he was
Get your ass over here, Gator.
He was that kind of hardcore tough, like where I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Man.
We were like, we were on the Mexican border there in Arizona, like near a place called Penasco or whatnot. And,
Peñasco or something like that. Yeah.
dude. Yeah. And I got to hear that story from old Gator. Plenty of that going on there. And dude, those gators are everywhere down there. They're like in the ditch and shit. Like, you could getting
Oh man,
chomped up by
that'd
a
be one
gator
thing that
is just-
any homeless people living over there, like I get what you're saying about the weather, but you'd have to also know how to fight off you need to know how to wrestle a gator.
Yeah.
Or guillotine an anaconda or a python or whatever.
I tell you what,
you got to be able to like
dude,
go.
the Cuban coffee there is like off the chain. You get yourself one of those Cuban coffees, you can wrestle about anything. Like, there's some good food there. I will say that too. Like, that Cuban sandwich and like the fruit and stuff down there is just like off the chain.
All right, so a couple more real life references, like, dude, not to backtrack to the Florida Joker, but I found the thing, and it says in the image they show in the trailer, it says there's the dude sitting there with purple hair and everything, and in the background there's a picture of the badge for the sheriff's office of Leonida. But at the bottom it says Megamundo Noticias or Megamundo News. So that's definitely a parody of
Big
of
world.
Telemundo or something like that. But in the thing it says confesión escrita en tinta para tatuajes. It says un tatuaje en el cuello que lo delató a sí mismo, clave en la condena de un hombre de Leonida. So what it says is that there's a tattoo on his neck that ratted him out itself.
It's the
like the
key to
tattoo gave him
identifying him.
away. Yeah, like he basically confessed to the crime in the tattoo, and it says it was the key in the condena, in the sentencing of this guy from Leonidas. So that's funny. There's a lot of. I was watching a video on YouTube last night of this guy that was just kind of chatting about the map, and he was taking like Google Earth captures and like of the same angle and like placing them against that one picture, that one image in the trailer where they're kind of like zooming in on the beach, and you can see the city skyline, and you see the beach, and there's all sorts of towels and stuff, and then there's that front row of hotels. Mm-hmm. He takes those two shots, and dude, it's like exactly the same almost. And exactly the same almost. The fuck am I saying? That didn't make any sense. They're super similar.
The architecture,
Crazy
especially.
Similar.
There's that one like condo complex that kind of has a open square in the middle of it. That you can obviously see is there, and I feel like his Ocean Boulevard right there is pretty close to where that Versace mansion, and honestly, that's the first place I'm going. Like I want to go because I distinctly remember like kind of walking on the beach there and like remembering how like just amazing it was. I could get that close to it and how clean it was. Like it was very clean. There wasn't like a bunch of trash and shit there.
Yeah. I mean, what's the first thing you're going to do, though? Let's be perfectly honest. You're not going to, like, walk the beach.
I'm going to have, like I say, see if I recognize some of that. I imagine it's going to be like GTA 5.
No, man. The first thing boring, dude. First thing everyone's going to do, this. Everyone is going to get in a car and just
floor it.
Freaking plow everyone down the beach, dude. That's what everyone's going to do.
Well, I wonder, like
they're gonna get in a vehicle and just no. Can you believe how many? The beach looked so populated in that video.
The NPCs are doing some shit.
They were
man.
everywhere.
They're like able to pass stuff between each other, and it looks like flawless. And their
There's
hairs.
sand on their feet,
Yeah.
and it was kicking up. The sand was kicking up in the video. Oh man.
The jiggles, the booty jiggle, and
nasty, dude.
Yeah. I imagine if it'll be something similar to like I finally did play the GTA 5 online, and you kind of had to pick your own character. Like I wonder if there'll be like biker and executive and all that, like what kind of crime careers you can go into now.
It's going to be, it's hard to say. I mean, there's definitely going to be an online thing, but, right now all we have is the trailer and the leaks and the predictions around all that.
Yeah.
How big do you think the map is going to be? It looks like it includes the Everglades.
And a lot of ocean and stuff, so...
maybe the Keys. It looks like the Keys are in there.
The southernmost point down, like, all the way, like, Key West, maybe. It goes way down there.
I think they rumored that it wasn't going to be as big as, like, the Los Santos map and everything of GTA 5, but that it's going to be more dense, and that it's going to be more... like you're going to be able to go inside of more buildings and stuff like that. So that'll be cool to see. Mm-hmm. But when you another comparison I saw was the density, precisely. Like you compare that beach shot with the city skyline behind it of like GTA 5, like, the Los Santos, like kind of from the beach area where the pier is and everything. And then you look at the one that they showed on the trailer for GTA 6 and Vice City. It's a whole nother level. Like Vice City is so dense. Like it's it looks real, like actual Miami.
Do you think though? Are we seeing actual gameplay type moments, or are we seeing cutscene type moments?
Cutscene.
Yeah,
for sure.
So it seems like people are analyzing it as if it's gameplay moments. And, those have been pretty intense for years, but like, I'm interested to see. One of my first impressions of when I jumped back into GTA 5 online was like, these definitely look like 10-year-old graphics. Like they're nice and everything. And it's very playable, but there's certain like proportion things, like as far as the road and like, I don't know. There's just something a little cartoonish about it that I feel like is going to be more realistic in this. Just because they have so much more.
Wait, so which game are you talking about then when you say that it
looks kind of cartoonish? Yeah, I'm not talking about the trailer. I'm talking about one of my impressions of once I got back into GTA 5 is the graphics.
You said that.
2013 graphics and
fuck, that's such an old game.
And it's been upgraded. It's crazy. I'm sure. It probably had we had to pay cent, for the PS5, version, and it looks good. But like some of the things they pointed out, like the NPCs are always kind of facing, forward when they're on a motorcycle or vehicle or something. There's things that we're kind of used to that almost have become a mean. When you're standing still, your arms are still kind of moving around at times, and kind of your just general, thing that eventually is hopefully going to go away. And
that was actually another note I wrote down here on my little pad is NPC interactions. I personally agree. I agree with you. Rockstar, considering what the game is at large, it's a great feat. What they've done with the NPCs, so much dialogue. And I'm talking about GTA 5, of course. It's insanely complete. Mm-hmm. So, a little bit of NPC clunkiness and stuff like that, you kind of look past it. But I have a feeling that this GTA 6 is going to bring a whole nother level of NPC liveliness, let's say, of what the NPCs are capable of doing, especially since, keep in mind, this game isn't coming out for another more or less 2 years. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think they can do a lot in 2 years, especially Rockstar, with all of their resources. I think the NPCs are going to be on a whole nother level. What do you think, sir?
I think they are definitely going to be on another level. I think as far as their appearance and what they do. And, I always, like you said, I feel like GTA 5, when I point a gun at people, they react to it, sometimes even when I don't mean to, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
don't call the cops. No. Oh, great. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like I was looking for my phone. It's you asked the question, what do I think? I'll tell you what my little brain shot out when I saw that was I couldn't help but think, what is GTA 7 going to be like? Will Chat GPT type, smart NPCs be in there, and will they have their own little lives, that are you...
Wait, GTA 7?
Yeah.
You mean C, or you mean 6? Or are you speaking even more into the future?
Yeah, it's just like I said, it made my mind go to... what is the future of NPCs? And this is pretty much what it's going to be in a year or two. And it made me think gosh, I want to see sort of that, large language model kind of brain in these things at some point. And as far as what I think these are going to be like, I think there's going to be more variety. There's not going to be where you run into one character over and over that kind of does something very similar that you could, eventually it almost is like a non-event because you've seen it so many times, at this point. And things, I think there'll be more variety in that kind of thing. But yeah, it also makes me think if this is the jump from 5 to 6, what's the jump from 7, 6 to 7 going to be like too? Just in general.
Oh man, I don't want to. That's, who knows, but I hope that GTA 6 is on a whole, I hope they really improve the NPC interactions, because it seems like, well, what do I know, but it seems like the engine is capable, what they're working on is going to be capable of it, and the PlayStation 5 is capable of it, but it's just so much, I've always been baffled by the amount of detail that the Rockstar games have. I mean, when you go and look at Red Dead Redemption 2 and the level of attention to detail that they put into that, it's just no other developer does that. No one does that.
I think
so. And if they have to keep the what's the phrase, Chuck? They got to keep the bar high. They got to set the bar high, and they got to meet that standard. Because if these guys have gotten so big, they've been so successful that, and I might be wrong here. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Hit us up in the comments, and and get back to us. But I feel like if they miss the mark, it's gonna be such a hard hit. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's so much high expectation with what they put out. Like, we're so used to like fucking filet mignon that anything else is gonna be like, whoa, like a hard fail. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
the one answer to that is at least we're not in like the cartridge days where you only kind of get one shot at it. They will be able to fix things that we don't like and respond to it. To that degree. But yeah, they're taking this freaking long, dude. The expectations are up there, and I'm sure they're going to charge a pretty penny for this thing, which is also going to put our expectations up there. And
yeah,
I do think they're building on themselves, though. I noticed a lot of folks talking about how the animals in this game, looked like technology that they had sorted out in Red Dead Redemption and had transferred over. And absolutely. Yeah, so
they have a lot of assets.
Yeah, and it's not like they're an Unreal Engine 5 or whatever. It sounds like they've got their own engine that they're so you'd imagine like those things will build upon themselves.
What is the GTA engine? Let me
kind
check
of a
that.
Rockstar exclusive product, as I understand it.
Yeah, because you're right. I don't think they do use Unreal. Oh, fuck. Hold on.
It seemed like one of the things that I noticed almost seemed unique to their engine is like people's hair and things. I think it's kind of the same jiggle thing too, but like, man, like it used to be just this sort of blocky, sort of stiff animation, the hair would either be going one way or the other, but now it's more like flowy, and yeah, it's sort of, it feels real.
It looked really good in the trailer. It looked great. But yeah, those are cutscenes. So you made a good point about that. Come on, is this searching or isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of information as to what's going to be in the game. Like, you see that they've made it obvious. There's a bus, sign in the background. So you might think, oh, the bus, transit system is going to be back in the game and things like that. But as far as how it's going to feel to play it, and once that one moment when you really went into character, and when you play GTA, do you play first person or third person?
Third person.
I do too, and I kind of
because I don't like first person, but I don't think the controls feel good in first person. Like they don't feel. For me, if a game's going to be in first person, it has to feel really smooth and fleshed out. Like, for example, the COD games. Mm-hmm. Those just feel good. Like they feel good, but otherwise, no, third person all day because that's how it was intended to be played.
Yeah, I like that too.
I want to know what engine they use.
I'll check my notes here real quick too. What do you think about vehicles, man? Like, did anything catch your eye as far as?
That's a great question. I noticed they're bringing back a lot of vehicles, and you also mentioned the thing about like how the video shows like buses and stuff like that and different vehicles, but and a lot of people have predicting like, oh well, since it was in the video, we can assume they're going to be bringing back this. Or because we saw a tennis court on there's an island. I think it's I forget what it's called, but there's an island in the game that was on the original Vice City, which is where wasn't the character's name Tommy Vercetti?
Sounds about right.
That's where his house was. Yeah. So they like and there's like a tennis court on there. So they're saying, oh well, there's gonna be side activities again. And it's hard to say like what there is or is not going to be from this trailer, because I don't think that just because we see this or see that necessarily means for sure that these things are coming back.
I would agree.
So, is that a child screaming? Can you hear that?
Sounds like a bird.
Jeez, it's like what's going on next door? Jeez. God, man, my internet is... Oh, here we go. There it is. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop the momentum, but they do not use the Unreal Engine 5. They use the Rockstar Advanced Game Engine, also known as the Rage. The Rage Engine. Okay. Rockstar Advanced Game Engine. Proprietary game engine of Rockstar Games. Okay. There's that. Sorry, I needed to squash that. I wanted to know. With the cars and everything, what I noticed is they're bringing back a bunch of vehicles and maintaining rhythm with vehicle. Like a lot of the same vehicles are going to be that were in GTA 5, and they're bringing back other vehicles. Like they're bringing back that plane called the Dodo. Remember how I think was it in GTA 3? Was it back in the first one that was not only from above, because GTA 1 and GTA 2 were looking down. They were look down games. You couldn't be in third person or first person. And then GTA 3 was the first one that you could be third person in. God, I'll never forget when that came out. Great memories. I'll never forget the trailer. It blew my mind. Wow. I got to go back and look at that on YouTube. Anyways. But do you remember that plane that had like very short wings, and you could get it airborne for a little bit, and then it'd go like and crash, or you'd like land. Do you remember that?
I don't. Was it almost like a Learjet type plane, or more like experimental aircraft?
No, it's just like a Cessna type, like little tiny plane. Yeah. Yeah. So they're bringing a bunch of stuff back from Vice City, I think, too. Like, what is it called? The Ocean View Hotel. Do you remember that? That's in there. That harbor with that huge boat, that huge shipping ship is in there. Lots of stuff that was in Vice City 3. Yeah, Ocean View Hotel. And let me see if it's in here. No, it's not. But yeah, there's a harbor there with a very recognizable ship that was in Vice City, the first one.
I like the motorcycles. I seem to gravitate toward them a little bit. That's what I went with on GTA 5. I formed a biker gang and started out with a pretty decent motorcycle.
Nice.
Not the $2 million one, but there's the chap.
Oh, dude, it looks like they're bringing back the Cheetah. The Cheetah was in... Do you remember the Cheetah vehicle?
It kind of looks like a Lamborghini or something, doesn't it?
Yeah. It says... I'm reading from an article here from Game Rant. It says, in the same shot of the strip where the Ocean View Hotel can be seen, one of the cars has Cheetah written on the license plate. This was one of the fastest cars in Vice City and was based on the Testarossa from the third season of Miami Vice.
Okay, yeah.
It's the car that Sonny Crockett received after his prior ride was blown to pieces.
Yeah.
So, yeah, talking to cars. Yeah, there's a lot of badass cars. And then the density is insane.
Yeah. I wonder, there's always trade-offs, as far as loading times and things like that. I wonder what like a practical balance will be if there's crashing and things going on. I saw someone mentioning that there were volumetric clouds, and I couldn't help but think, that sounds like that's the command you use in Arc to get rid of those clouds. Like there's some term volumetric clouds and fog and stuff is some new thing that's kind of made it into video games lately. Man, and it does like that freaking fog in Arc. It's like real fog. Like, it's like I can't see.
Yeah, it is. So let me ask you this. What would be some of your predictions or some mechanics or things, whatever they may be? What would you like to see in GTA 6?
One of the things maybe
in 2 years. What are your expectations? What do you think they'll bring out, or what would you like to see?
I'm interested in role playing. I keep seeing things about servers like where you can, they're like role play servers. So I'd like, some variety of that, like as far as what I could be, because
like more careers.
Yeah.
On GTA Online. Cause and you mean GTA Online then?
Yeah. And you got to figure it's going to change with when this comes out, right? Like
Well, I don't know that there's going to be a GTA Online 6. All we know about is this trailer and a campaign revolving around Lucia and Jason. I think her name's Lucia. I keep spacing out her name. I mean, obviously, there's going to be an online component, and that would be awesome to have more careers. But as you said, they can continue to upload that kind of stuff, which they still do on the current GTA Online. It would be cool to see more careers in the campaign, maybe.
I guess to kind of format my answer more, to go with your question, I think cooperative things, like things we can do together, with the bros, like whether it's in the campaign or its own, the updated online version or if we could do cooperative campaign would be awesome. Like if, I formed a biker gang and you can be in it too.
Co-op would be really cool. That would be cool. But like, what if you want to who's going to be Lucia? Who's going to be Jason?
I feel like
if me and you play together and we're playing as a boyfriend girlfriend couple, because they clearly are in the video. Well, Chuck, who's pitching and who's catching? Wink, wink.
You're right. You're right. There's a lot of things that got to be sorted out.
Yeah, we got to sort some shit. Yeah. But I do want co-op.
Yeah. Just some way to interact. I think, but just realistically, like, just an awesome campaign that keeps me engaged and wanting to follow through. I guess as I'm remembering, I think GTA 3 I went really far and I had. It seemed like my goal was to secure territory in the city, and kind of build my criminal enterprise. But you do get kind of bored with that at some point, and then, you just end up jumping shit and.
Yeah, looking for the stunt jumps. Yeah. I've only got 4 stunt jumps left, and then I've reached 100%.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I got to beat that campaign though.
Yeah, just find random vehicles and my favorite go-to move was to get as full the highest, most wanted level I could and go to this big mansion and kind of hold myself up in there, and they'd be outside fucking helicopters and SWAT teams and shit.
You just hold that corner, hold that corner, hold that corner.
Yeah,
I'm running out of ammo. Oh, they got. Yeah, I used to do that too.
Yeah, and it's maybe I'll make a run at my next part of the campaign. If it kind of falls apart or whatever, I'll just
go find the tallest building and parachute off it.
Just random shit like that. So something that keeps me engaged, makes me want, keeps that dopamine flowing, right to the back of the brain there. And what about you? Like what are you looking for in it? Like in hopeful?
Well, no, what else though? You only said one thing. You hoping for more careers, something to keep you entertained?
Co-op, like I say, online, ways to interact with my buddies, something to keep me entertained. I'd like to see, it's good to see people like hillbillies represented on there, like the Thrillbilly thing. I will definitely look into the mudding and
you can be able to connect with those folks.
I saw that you can be a fireman and a policeman and stuff. Like if they had just in my wildest dreams or whatever, they would have like a wildfire component, and I could be a wildland firefighter role player in Florida and do some prescribed burning and shit like that. Maybe.
Did they talk about that being you can be a cop? I
know you can be like a regular firefighter. I don't know that specifically as far as, like you say, we don't know about the online thing, but I know like now currently I've seen servers advertised where you can be a cop.
For GTA 5?
Yeah, where you can be a cop or a firefighter or something like that. So.
Okay, well, in GTA 5 or on GTA Online right now, there's careers in the game, and you can pick. Like, I'm a nightclub owner right now.
Nice.
Didn't you know? Omega. That's my club. Stop by.
I get a feeling you're using that as a front for your criminal enterprise.
Dude, it's podcast front, man. We're funding this whole operation through my GTA Online nightclub, Omega.
Dude.
It's pretty grimy right now. Let me earn some more cash and upgrade it a little bit. And then we'll have you over, huh?
Yeah, all right. Sounds right. Sounds like a deal.
Bring your homies.
God.
Yeah, bring the squad. Well, I'd like to see one thing that like they've kind of talked about, and I don't know, quasi confirmed, is being able to go into more buildings. So that's kind of an expectation for me then at this point. I want to see that because they've been talking about it. So that'll be really cool just to be able to go into more buildings. I think, in GTA 5, you could go into like less than 1% of all the buildings that are in that game, So could you imagine just being able to go into like, I don't know, 10 or 15% of all the buildings in the game? That would be really cool, but like, again, it goes back to that thing of saying, like, how much work does that take? Fuck, man.
A lot, dude.
Rockstar's on fire, man. Another thing I'd like to see, destructible environments. That would be sick, dude. Who always did that well were the people behind Battlefield.
You dang right.
They've got great destruction mechanics. Bombing walls out and like just blowing up buildings and shit collapsing and busting and breaking and flying apart. They've always done that well. Love to see that in GTA 6. I'd love to see, I already touched on this. We don't need to rehash it, but NPCs, just more interactive NPCs that can do more, say more, and act differently based on situations in the game. That'd be cool. What else? I've seen other websites and other content creators talk about like having events and venues and I think one website had like something about like religion and sex and stuff like that, more about like that kind of stuff going on. Like more military type vehicles and military grade weapons and stuff like that. Kind of just like minor stuff.
Like I will say there's a buzz around this that I haven't seen around a video game in a minute, and we've been paying pretty close attention to that.
You're right. And we haven't mentioned any of that.
And I think if I, maybe go for the Chuck Point type zone there and say, I'd like to see it, just make video games a little more, just available to everyone and people see the benefit and
you'd like GTA 6 to be the pioneer of that?
Yeah, maybe. It seems like it definitely hits a thing like anything. Sometimes it just feels like things are so divided lately. Anything that can bring 100 million people like on the same page and enjoying the same thing and coming at it from different angles, I think has potential. So yeah, I'd like to see that used for good, but.
Let's use GTA 6 to bridge the divide across America. Hey, man, I'm not going to argue with that.
Like I said,
next thing you know, the developers are back in Congress, like, declaring like, this is not a bad game. We promise. Let us continue to publish games, please. It's not that bad.
Well, again, to go, just bring it all back to the song, like he says, one more chance to save my soul tonight, like, and I think
they're probably waiting until 2025 specifically to avoid controversy.
God, if that was
2024 is going to be a GTA game in itself.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go there for that. That'll seem like The Sims or something compared to real life, I'd say. Jesus.
Man. Well, I hope that all goes well. But you mentioned something huge, and I wanted to bring it up because I think on Monday, our last episode, we mentioned that within a frame of 2 hours, this entertainment trailer on YouTube had surpassed all things and became let me read it again real quick. I have it right here, just to recap on that before we mention this next little tidbit, little factoid that you can check for yourself. But it's insane. Let's see, where was that? Here it is. Yeah, I read this last week Yeah, last week on Monday. It said GTA 6 trailer is now the most liked entertainment product trailer of all time with over 4.2 million likes and 20 million views in just 2 hours. That was Monday. If you go now and you look at the trailer online for GTA 6, it has 138 million views in 5 days. 138 million views. That is insane. When GTA 5 came out, there was news all over the place about how it had sold more copies. You can go look, just type in GTA 5 copies sold news, and you'll see like how GTA 5 killed it. Did amazing. It did insane. Wow. It set records, and it's to date, like it's still 10 years later or whatever, it's still huge, especially the GTA Online. You know, they're still capitalizing off that. But check this out. If you go online and look for the GTA 5 trailer, which again, GTA 5 killed it, did insane, over a period of 12 years that the trailer's been up, it has 104 million views. 104 over 12 years.
Wow.
In the past 5 days, the GTA 6 trailer got 138 million views. That's 34 million views more. And it's only been up for 5 days.
Yeah, dude. The hype is there.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, damn.
Yeah, dude. This is kind of a watershed moment for gaming. I feel like it, and you know that you talked earlier about pressure, like to get it right and things like that. If this turns out to be a flop, it could have the equal and opposite effect of what I'm talking about. Like, as far as pushing gaming forward, it could push it back if it sucks. Or
man, I know. I get there must be a lot of pressure on the people in Rockstar.
Well, and there's that age-old narrative that, somehow it's bad for kids or something to, and I think a crime-themed game.
That's why I thought it was funny when you're like, well, I think this is going to, the people out there that don't like gaming and you might bring them into gaming.
No, I want the people on there.
This game? You wanted this game?
Yeah, dude, it's like, man, I had anger issues. I would have committed a lot of crimes by now if I hadn't been able to take all this stress out on this GTA 6 game. He's like, I'm a changed man.
I'm a better person.
He's like hugging the other gang, like his ops or whatever they call him. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
I started,
you never know. I mean, the world works in strange ways.
Yeah. I met my buddy Ghostface Killer there on the role playing server, and I figured out like, he's a guy just like me.
And you mentioned, I think you mentioned, I don't remember, and we've already hashed that out. But there's also a lot of actual, like, real Florida people in the game, like that big guy, that big guy that you see, and I think he has like a
basketball jersey or something on it. Looks like
I don't remember what it said, but he's like he's kind of going like this in the video. That's a real rapper from Florida.
Okay, yeah.
And there's a scene as well where they're in this nightclub. It's not a strip club nightclub like we're used to in GTA, but there's like a proper like nightclub with a DJ up at the front.
Uh-huh.
And I think she's like an actual DJ.
Oh.
She's like a very, very, very famous DJ from, oh gosh, I should have had this already pulled up. I think she's from Europe. Let me bring it up real quick.
That does seem to be a theme. Like people are saying,
DJ,
like they have nailed the culture references and made them just like from the hairstyles to, the way the dude's dreads look to just, how thick some of the like the
lowriders.
Yeah,
there's that one section in the lowrider deal there.
Just variety, diversity of different types of humans. They've definitely nailed that.
Why does this always happen? I turn my internet off for a little bit and then I click it back on and it takes ages to reboot. Yeah. It's okay. I can cut out any dead spots, and the fellow gamers and listeners will never know.
What about a weapon, man? Is there any specific weapon you want in there, like RPGs?
No. I do like the whole more military grade weapons and all that stuff. That would be fun. But
I think where I'm mostly concerned is the interactiveness of the game. Like when a developer pushes a game more in the direction of like what it would seem like or be like in real life, when those advancements take place, that's where I get all gleeful, like, ooh, this is awesome. Ooh, check it out. Like I love that stuff when it just seems more real. Adding more vehicles, adding more weapons, adding more missions and diversity and storyline and stuff like that. I just feel like that's a must. Mm-hmm. Like I expect that. It's not gonna, it's a must. It needs to be there to keep me at a baseline of expectation and satisfaction with the game. But if they want to, if they want to get like an attaboy out of me, like oh damn, this game was insane because they did this, or I love this game so much because of this, it really has to do with like, what can I do in the game to bring to simulate that activity or that type of game for me as if it was like a real. Mm-hmm. Like one thing that Ark does so well is it's so deep and complex that it seems like they've considered everything. Like there's no shortcuts in that game unless you're on a private server, but like it's very depthful in terms of survival. COD does it great. Balance, they simulate battle really well. GTA's always done it very well, but again, like such high expectations with them that what would really like be awesome in my opinion would be that, like, to be able to go into more buildings, for the NPCs to be more interactive and like real life people, for everything to just work very, very smoothly, even more, like for the frames per second to be even higher, just whatever can make that game really make me feel like I'm in Miami and I'm like some criminal, like warlord or whatever it may be. In this case, it looks like it's a young couple that looks like Lucia's coming right out of a prison or something, and who knows? And this guy, we don't know much about him, Jason. He seems like he's also in the criminal world in some way, shape, or form. Whatever that can make me feel like I'm in there living that more. That's what's gonna get me like, talking above and beyond about it. But we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. No, that sounds like a really good wish list for it. I just don't know that we can compare it to things like Ark. I thought a lot of those, sort of thought exercises through in my head, and just with no crafting and no building, like it.
Oh, I wasn't comparing. I was using
that, but I'm just saying, like to me, like in my giant wish list, that would be possible. Like in this game, so something like that. Maybe I'm making bullets or guns or something. To have a weed farm that I'm working or.
Oh yeah, that would be sick, dude. Yeah, like up in the Everglade part.
Yeah, maybe not be able to mess with the city or whatever, but out in the open areas, like I should be able to build my own little clubhouse or something, and yeah, that would keep me going. I think a little longer too.
Yeah. Well, we might have more to say about this GTA 6 thingamajig that they're talking about out there on the interwebs. We might have more to say about it ourselves. And hey, man, we can always come back and unwrap this even more in the next episode or a couple episodes down, because I don't think the hype is going to settle with GTA 6.
No.
And we've still got about 2 years before this wonder of the world is going to be releasing.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's a lot to unpack there. They really jam-packed it in there. There's a whole lot going on in that trailer when you really get down to it.
That's the thing. We might have to come back and because there is like, the more like we're talking about it, there are things that are coming to my mind that I would love to talk about, like all the creatures and animals. We didn't really dive into that too much, but that seems to be like a thing now. So there's a lot. If there's anything, fellow gamers out there, if there's anything you'd like us to talk about or opine on or discuss, get some laughs about, let us know. You can email us. You can hit us up on Facebook. Where else can we? On Instagram.
Yeah.
Where are we, Chuck? We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram.
Bathroom
Twitter.
walls and
Bathroom walls and truck stops, rest areas. We're on, not Twitter. It's called
like
X.
one of those banners behind a plane or something. Do you see that one banner going through there that said 69 or something in there?
Why 69 when you can 616 or something like? No, 919.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God. Oh God. Here comes
Could
GTA
be.
6.
You might see one of those with New Wave Gaming coming across the
Hell yeah. Yeah, let us know. We're really all over the place. You can just type in New Wave Gaming, or at NWG Podcast. You can find us like that as well. I think we're on TikTok too. Chuck's uploading videos there every now and then.
GTA 6 will be live in the 305. Okay.
It's a 305. I'm gonna go and watch some. What was that crime show with the guy H? He in Miami-Dade.
I forget. That sounds kind of familiar.
Fuck, man. He'd always have glasses, and he'd always like end the episode with some like some schnazzy like phrase or like
quip.
ending line. Yeah, a little like ending line, like.
Put that
They
in
were
your
gonna
back, Smokey.
they were gonna commit a crime today, but we got them first. Like, oh. And then it ends. Gosh dang, what was that show? I'm not gonna
You're
check.
not talking
'cause my
about the
phone's being a
A-Team, are you?
bitch. No, it's just a typical cop show, like on whatever. It was super. There was like one in Miami. There was one in L.A. They filmed different ones all over.
NCIS or
It was one of those shows.
yeah,
But Miami.
Special Victims
SVU, whatever. No.
Law and Order type shows. Yeah,
It was one of those cop show with H. I'm just gonna put that. See what comes up. Dang, man. Cop show with H in Miami. Let me try that. In Miami. Let's see.
Hector.
CSI
Oh yeah,
with Horatio Kane. CSI Miami.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
God, it is going down there.
Dude, I used to love that show, man. He'd put his glasses on and like say something, schnazzy. Got you, bitch. Anyways. No, he wouldn't say that. But
Finger guts.
Yeah, bang bang. Oh man. Yeah, I know there's gonna be more we're gonna want to talk about, so we'll get back. Anyways. Hope you enjoyed this pod. I think this is episode 39. Coming up on Big 40, man.
Big 40.
Episode 39. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, shoot us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, wherever you're tuning in. If you could drop us a like, a subscribe, a follow, whatever iteration may appear to you, that would be super helpful for us. Because, we're just an independent pod here trying to make our way in the big world out there.
That's right.
Anything else, Chuck?
No, man. Hope everybody has a good week and enjoys the hype around the GTA 6, man. Let's see where it goes. I'm excited to see it.
Cool, yeah. If anything comes to mind, man, jot it down and we'll talk about it again in an upcoming episode. Same with you listeners. Anything comes to mind, again, just shoot us a message or a comment or something on any of our platforms and we will respond. We'll bring it up on the pod. Well, Chuck, thanks, man.
Man, I appreciate you too, Alex.
All right, thanks everyone.
Peace.